Welcome to the Explainer. Today, we're talking about something huge, a powerful framework for basically upgrading your own mind. Think of it as a new operating system for you, built on the principles of neuro-linguistic programming. Let's get right into it. Okay, let's start with a really provocative idea. What if you're not actually in the driver's seat of your own life? What if your reactions, your habits, even the things you think you can't do, what if they're all just old lines of code, running automatically? And that's the core metaphor we're going to play with today. So many of us are running on mental software that's totally out of date. I mean, it was programmed years and years ago, maybe by the 7-year-old version of you to deal with problems you outgrew a long, long time ago. And yet, that old software is still running the show. Now don't worry, this isn't about digging through some dense, super technical manual. No way. We're taking a totally different approach here. Think of this more like a manifesto for your mind, a clear, conversational guide that's all about putting this stuff into practice, not just learning the theory. So if we are running on software, where the heck is the user manual? Well, this is exactly where Neuro-Linguistic Programming, or NLP for short, comes in. It really is the guide to your own brain that you never got when you were born. Let's just break down that mouthful of a name, okay? Neuro, that's all about your nervous system, how you experience the world through your 5 senses. Linguistic, that's the language, both the stuff you say out loud and that little voice inside your head that you use to make sense of everything. And programming, well, that's the result. Those are your habits, your automatic patterns of thinking and behaving. Put it all together, NLP is basically the study of how the language in your mind literally creates your reality. Now, this is one of the biggest ideas in NLP. It's called the map is not the territory. And what it means is that none of us experience reality directly. Get this, your brain is getting bombarded with over 2 million bits of information every single second. It can't possibly process all that, so to cope, it just deletes, distorts, and generalizes most of it. And what's left over becomes your own personal, unique map of the world. It's why 2 people can go through the exact same event and have completely different experiences. Okay, so here's the crucial part. The language you use, both in your head and out loud, it isn't just describing your reality. It is actively creating it. It's the source code for that mental map we were just talking about. So how do we start to decode that language? Well, NLP gives us this incredibly powerful tool called the Milton Model. It was actually one of the very first things the founders of NLP developed, and you can think of it like a debugger for your own thoughts. It's really just a set of super precise questions that help you find the glitches, the deletions, distortions, and generalizations in your own mental code. And this is how it works, and it's so smart. You know when you hear yourself say something like, "I never get it right"? The meta model question is, never? Was there really not a single time? It forces you to look for the exception, which breaks the whole pattern. Or how about, "I should work harder"? The question, according to whom, makes you realize there's a hidden rule there you probably never even questioned. And my favorite, his comment makes me furious. The question, how, specifically, does a comment cause a feeling? See? It breaks that link and gives you back control. It's all about reconnecting your words to what actually happened. Okay, so you might be thinking, this is kind of cool, but it's from the 70s. Why does this matter right now? Well, this is where a 50-year-old psychological tool gets surprisingly, incredibly relevant for today's world. It turns out there are 2 NLPs. There's the one we've been talking about, Neuro-Linguistic Programming, for humans, and then there's natural language processing. Yep, the tech that powers all the artificial intelligence we're seeing, like ChatGPT. And right now, their core principles are coming together in a really powerful way. And this right here is the modern professional edge. The exact same principles you use to clarify your own thinking are now essential for talking to an AI. Using that meta model to get really specific, that's how you stop an AI from just making stuff up. Telling an AI to act as an expert in something, that's a direct copy of an NLP technique called modeling. Seriously, the person who masters both NLPs, the human one and the computer one, has a unique and seriously powerful advantage. So look, understanding these concepts is one thing, but the real power, the real change, comes from the journey of actually putting it into practice, of actually getting in there and rewriting your own code. And just like learning anything meaningful, whether it's driving a car or playing an instrument, it happens in these 4 stages. First, you're at unconscious incompetence. You don't even know what you don't know. Then comes conscious incompetence. You're aware of the skill, but you're clumsy. This is the hardest part for most people. After a while, you reach conscious competence. You can do it, but you have to really, really focus. And then finally, the goal, unconscious competence. The skill is just automatic. It's a part of you. So, the ultimate goal of this entire journey is to increase your own flexibility. It's based on a principle from science that basically says in any system, the part with the most options is the part that's in control. The more mental and behavioral choices you have, the more you are in charge of the system, your life, your career, your own mind, and not the other way around. Which leaves us with one last big question that gets right to the heart of everything we've talked about. Now that you have this understanding, what are you going to choose to be? Are you the programmer or are you the program?